Au ya you. You will lay a desire. Then I'd wear drag power. President via Yatija, this again. I say, oh, me, I'm right. And by doing you, I'm a part of my trade there. Well, you'll learn it goes away. Alas, I will that Gianna, we say you. Papa Mora, get me up when anywhere, Momba Sivole. Sivole. L'arrangeur parmi national, très trop fort. Puis à quoi ben me wan ba se so pe de ju o je. Àwọn sai bobo. Bí àbí o. Do ba ble you ba ba ko mo yan o. Baba yin guitar, petit, blazo fait sonner. Kaidaka. Bena baya posa gogo mambo panjagu. Apo blo akafoi. Wa posa nyoka foi. Be afonte mo gbandi yo pa kleju kiyen. Nyanjo si won. Posto kata tuyo pe atinyo de won. E mo o. Nesse tokan. Is a poco, where they have it. Go on, yeah, I can't salute. What's what you got to your way? I think you're the one. Emma, Nesetoka. Now, with is a poco, where they have it. Go on, yeah, can you get? Now, conquering your well, and your sound safely. Hey, I do. Let's do what you just grab the work. Say your book on ya. Are you now? Saibo Dakiano, and we say you over. I want to you come on, need a boy. And yes, I'm going to buy them when we're gay. Hey, Imo, am I gay? One of what I want, I guess me, I'm done, and it the boy. Oh, ow. Bobo Dakiano, and we say you will. So like it, Tampo Benyon, never boy. Netoni and Rayo. Hey, are you? Opo Quick, say, oh, yeah, I'm a walking ever. Kaidaka, when it was to work out of net, you don't know halfway. I just know. This is what I say. Saibo, yeah, you like do I get more by one name on tele ye by Potamu, Tanyada. Planning Papa, Benegasia, Bacao Lage, the Buesipo, the BSC, the 10 years ago, you can up one. There was a bob, was a dressy, Mango, Palipo, Dakiano, and I will say you over. I will. Saibo. Back to a black guy, so say. I just want to lay a bat to an album, you see you okay. Wait, yo, Ivo, Saibo, India, they can pop and block where John B. Bangla. On the Kriana, walk like a bad day, they noir. So I said. So now, when you're naturally stand, claim the soule. Bobo Dakiano, and I will say you over. I'm not in it. Say you. So on way. And no Russell, Cape Gospel. South Africa, under your fault, your way. Thank you for your work there and my one. I'm the Pope and Yaguba. Don't feel it, I say, oh, Clavodio. Say, back in where we are coming. Say, Bobo Dakiano, and I will say you over. Aba pepo swelu ni nde swelu. Kwa muzo du mange dota siko bala. Kabo jo ase. Pepo swelu muzo gluke. Say ya re ase pa ye no. Ken monde ye. Nyo pa play yo te mo play ya now. Ari wo ase o pa ye. Amo amora da o. Saibo Dakiano, and I will say you. I wish a rule of the open. So, Saibo, that young man now will take you there. Pop man down le Mary, read on your man, that's a room. But you know, I say, it's a mayo. That was a yes, you also won't when you. I'm original, I say.
Oui, il a fait une chanson à Mobile Production, voilà. Et Mobile Production, c'est une structure qui est créée pour les jeunes qui sont dans le guémon, pour les jeunes de l'US tout. Mobile Production est là pour produire les jeunes talentueux, cachés, que les gens ignorent. Donc notre devoir, c'est de produire des talents cachés. Alors, il a fait un son pour Mobile Production.
Arrangé Eric Glodé, le don de Dieu pour la musique de l'Ouest. Je te détesterai jamais. Jamais, jamais, au grand jamais. Mobile Production, Abia Dia Oboa, Amunyandro, moi et toi Pierre. Piero momoye, moye, Piero momoye, ato Piero Dia Vere, Piero momoye, ah Piero we, ndato Piero so prononcé, ato Piero Dia Vere, akosia o, moye, Piero momoye, mosa bosa iko momoye, Piero Di mo Vere, mandoye mo, ah Piero Di mo Vere, mandoye mo, Piero we, bebe, ha. Piero momoye, moye, Piero moye, Piero moye, Piero dia vereba, la poje yo dia vere, so no duni emble, mo bli amado let's apple, chiamo ne chipanyone, mo waja chipanyone, ja, plebone na kanyopo. Siagutiena, de Kanywe, Kanyon de Koga, Sepagidea, Piero Moye, Piero Moye, Piero Moye, Mogiarwa, Oyawesa, Moye, Giblo, Pigeon Boba, Yeruno, Maboye, Piero, Piero Moye, Mobile Production. Pierre Mobile Production. Assez au clano. Yahweh a quel homme au côté. Pierre moye, Pierre moye, Pierre moye, Ericona, Pierre moye, ah Charlicona, Pierre moye, a to Pierre moye. Erico Jato Piero, Marebo Mujato Piero, Erico Mujato Piero, Miamo Daka, Jojanico, and you will pass. Opa, Yede, Yanni, Blake Bracket, Yao, another bro, Ayabe Hatia. You know about the Kiabudia. Ono homono ne kadouble ye. Sobo somo soble so danyo. Paseble asenyo na yeta esa ye dibo sanere. E to Piero jawe ke. To Piero poinson weke. To Piero iwa mopa. Kaya no e kasene la taya mo la osiane. To Piero ki agba ede papa ko. Piero to Piero moye. Ah tu agba moe. Moye, la routier.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Mama Sableye, Angela Wayne, the Bobo Pangla Brie, Angela Wayne, Nama Bobo Pangla Brie, Angela Wayne, Angela Gio, Machapa, you, Daria Gio. Moye, Angelo, Moye, oh, Mamma Bokebla, Chia, Mamma Keblode, where you. Ah, she's a Jackie, Shadow, Mama Jose, Tania Kyoto, Handa Nicola, Memotia, Mada Nicola, Tania, Nicola Breto Yamo, Otuachi, Naipo de Wayne, Black on Blashili Agia, Agia, Moye, Caro Moye, 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 Moye.
Good evening, folks. Samson to LeBron Pablito. I want to welcome all of you again this evening. It's a Monday afternoon. Excuse me. It's a Monday afternoon, and we're going to be rocking it today. There's a lot of news coming from Liberia. We're not going to be able to touch all of those. However, we're here to discuss Liberia, all things Liberia, of course. But my intent and what I will continue to do is to talk about the pro-poor agenda. My understanding, I called Liberia yesterday. Somebody told me that they have changed some stuff in the pro-poor agenda. However, I'm requesting for the new one. Hopefully, the person will be generous enough to let me have it. If not, because what he told me, the changes are not that big of a deal. But anyway, I'd like to be updated anyway. So we'll see if we can get to that. Safety. The winter is pretty much fully here now. Snow is on the ground. Folks, you have to be very careful. Driving in the summertime and driving in the wintertime is they're not the same. You know by now. But those of you that are just coming, it's a different. But those of you who've been driving for a while, you know. However, the interesting thing about driving in the snow, you tend not to have too many lanes because it's snow. But here is what the most important thing about driving in the snow that you have to know, I think, is to make sure you have a good windshield wiper blade. Is to make sure you have enough fluid, windshield wiper fluid in your car, because those are very important. As you'll find out when it's rain, not really rain, but snow, but it's not really heavy snow, and it turn to wet snow. You're gonna need windshield wiper because car or truck will come passing by you and splatter the snow all over your windshield. You need windshield wiper to get it going. Also, by this time, I hope you have a snow tire by now. Okay, it's very important. Another thing also is that hopefully by now you already have all of those things that I was talking about during the spring, not spring, but fall. During the fall, I hope by now you have all of those things taken care of. They're very important. And as usual, I want to thank God again this evening for us to meet here. And no bad news from any of us. We say thank God. Let's continue to pray for each other, and I think we will do well. Take care of your car, and your car will take care of you. Samson told LIBERIA Pub Radio. I'm going to go straight to the reading this evening. And come and join me. Stay with me. Come on. Let's go. Let's go do some reading. No, before we do the reading, though, before I do the reading, as usual. By the way, come with me. Come with me. Come with me and see how far we go with this reading and what have you. It's going to be a very interesting one. We will try to enjoy ourselves together as friends, brothers and sisters, while I try to find my seat here and see if I'm going to be comfortable in it. But come and join me. Samson told LIBERIA Pub Radio. Before I go on to the reading, though, let me do the honorable thing, as I usually would say. Let me do the honorable thing, and that is let's play the video of Dr. Weah when he was campaigning in Liberia, and then I'll go on to other subject matter. Let's see how far we're gonna go with this. Samson told LIBERIA Pub Radio. Please stay with me this afternoon, and let's have fun together. Let's play the video.
Let's make sure you do that same thing for you can hold. You can hold the stage. You are on the shoulder, but you must stay. We're going to junior that before. No, I beg you. Let's make sure you do that same thing for you can hold.
Okay. And again, let me just briefly, those of you that generally keep saying, well, why is he playing the video way back during the election. The intent here is to let you know that when Dr. Weir was running, he was able to travel all over Liberia. And this video is very interesting to me because I also believe that in the heat of battle, there's things that you do and get sketched onto your brain. And I think this is one of those. That Dr. Weir, having been able to travel all over Liberia during the election, going through that process of walking in the mud, perhaps he felt within himself, this is what my brothers and sisters are going through. And therefore, if I'm successful in this campaign, if I'm successful, I will make sure that Liberia and the Liberian people do not go through this suffering anymore. And so when this young man came to power, most of the time, it's always been rolls. And I think this is the reason. So I like to play that all of the time. Most of the time, that will be my opening. Now, let me play you another one here. This is a video of Ghana. Not next door Liberia, but Ghana. Not too far from Liberia. Let's play that. Okay? And the reason of me playing this video as well is not to compare, but one thing my mom used to tell me is, you must be jealous. You must be jealous of everything. But it has to be positive. They have two types of jealousies. One who is jealous because the person have it and he doesn't want that person to have it. He doesn't want it either. So they call that, I believe, Liberian call that destructive jealousy. That's not what I'm talking about. Be jealous of something. Excuse me. Oh, it's too quick to start this kind of coughing business this afternoon. Samson told I'm nothing gonna stop me. Anyway, my mom would say, you have to be jealous. But don't be jealous because you have it. I mean, somebody have it, you don't have it. If somebody have it, be jealous and fight to get the same thing legally. Don't try to kill somebody because you want it. Don't try to harm somebody because you want it. Don't go behind someone telling people this person doesn't deserve it because you want it. Those are destructive jealousy. And this video, for me, I am jealous of the fact that we Liberians are capable to do what I'm about to show you about Ghana. We have the technology. We have the technical know-how. We have the people to be able to do these things. We're not working in blind anymore. You have young Liberian in the diaspora. You have young Liberian, even in Liberia, that are capable of producing these things. They must be in power. Simple as that. There's nothing else around it. You must invite Liberian young people to fully participate in the rebuilding of the nation. If not, where do you go to get that? Where do you go to get the rebuilding of the nation? You most likely going to go outside of Liberia and borrow people. This is not football game. This is not some kind of a basketball game. We go borrow people from Total to Sending. That's not what this is. It's the building of a nation. And the young people must be involved because these are the people, when you leave tomorrow, they will be in charge. They must know the in and out of this new development. You can't have a development without that and then you expect them to come in and take it over. Simple as that. So I'm automated right now. So stay with me. Let's play this Ghana stuff. Samson to LIBERIA Radio.
Afrikiko Junction, Accra, Tema Motorway. Apollo in the Western region. The police is watching you. Over 1,000 of these cameras have been installed at strategic locations across the country. These cameras have made police surveillance more effective and giving a boost to fighting crime. Playbacks have also been very useful. In this particular case, investigation into a road accident.
Good morning, police emergency. How may I assist you?
These cameras are operated from emergency command centers in Accra, Kumasi, and Tamale that are now receiving a record number of calls.
When the call comes in, the system automatically generates a case form.
The case form is meant to solicit the essential information required from the caller. If it is a motor accident, are there any persons injured? If it is a robbery, are the robbers armed? And so on. All calls can be traced to where they are made. In case a call drops, the operator can call back. Once a call is processed, the information is sent to the dispatch section for patrol teams in the field. One challenge are prank calls that divert attention from real emergencies.
Prank calls must stop. In a genuine emergency, we may not be able to access our emergency command center.
Locating crime scenes promptly is another. Many houses and dwellings in Ghana are located on unnamed streets. This is being addressed by the new GPS address system, which is an integral part of the new emergency response system.
This command center is a milestone along the way of the transformational agenda that the Ghana Police Service has launched. The Ghana Police Service, as I speak to you, is about total number strength of 33,000. For the population of Ghana, the minimum strength should have been 56,000. At 33,000, the police to civilian ratio is 1:848, which is far lower than the UN minimum of 1:500. Therefore, the result to the digital intervention is meant to ameliorate or to mitigate the defect or deficiency or the deficit, which stands at 23,000 police personnel. This intervention, which is going to make it easier for the police to monitor crime and make it easier for people in need to get in touch, therefore making it more efficient for them to check crime, it's a welcome intervention.
Again, folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. We're just starting here again. It's you saw it yourself. This is what true cooperation, true unity will give you. Because the guy that just spoke, is not externally than any other person in Africa. It could be in Liberia. But it is within us, the Liberian, if we want that, if we want system like that, that will help the police and the city administrators, if we want something like that, we can do it. There's no question. Because we have it within us. We Liberian, the Liberian people, are capable of doing just about anything we want to do in our country. If we want that country to move, it will move. If we want that country to stay to where it ain't going nowhere. Bring America or Russia or China or where, bring them down, we're not going nowhere. However, if we truly believe in ourselves and believe that the next generation of Liberian should be better than what we are, should be better in a place in terms of wealth, cooperation, unity, and whatever, we have to lay the groundwork. We can't have people, whenever the revenue is collected, certain people go and take it for themselves. And you expect the young people to gravitate towards you? No. The only young people you will get with a corrupt behavior, with a corrupt practice in our country, are those who want to be corrupt themselves. The sincere young people, those who want to work hard for the country, they might not want to come around. And this is why the behavior of the past, whatever it is that they were doing that was corrupt, is not conducive to the development of a country. Samson to LeBron Pobredo. The last time I was up here, I told you guys the drawing. By the way, I'm an engineer, so let's put it that way. But the last time I was here, I was giving you some engineering drawing that was sent to me, and my review of that brought in some bad feeling because what I saw was ridiculous. Was ridiculous. And what really got to me was the fact that I'm on this project right now. In fact, we went out in the field today again. I did some more measurement and things like that. And I'm in the office designing that. But then I'm thinking to myself, in fact, when my supervisor came out this morning, we were talking after I got back from the field. I made a few suggestions, things I don't want to do, things I want to change and stuff. And then he was asking, well, why don't you just put this there, put this there? I said, well, because we don't need it. Then eventually I decided to put some font in there. I said, guess what? I don't even live there. Then we started laughing. But after they left, I thought to myself, that's not Total. That's not Monrovia. If I'm giving them a design based on my own engineering experience and faithful to my practice, if I'm giving them something, I don't have to do more than what the money that I have. If I have certain amount of money set aside for this particular project, I can't go and say, you'll give me more money. I gave you what the money is for. Simple as that. But if it was Total or Liberia, we're going to bend back a little bit and say, you know what? My people need this. A true story. So the information that came to me, okay, and I look at the drawing, and I felt within myself, this is bad. How are you going to give me a structure section? Now, those of you that don't know much about structure section is the makeup of the roadway itself. Think about this. Think this term. You have a loaf of bread. You just finished baking the bread, okay? And you cut the bread in section. You cut it in the middle and turn it towards you. The face of the bread that is facing you is the cross section of that bread. Everything that was made up within that bread there, you can see it. That's how the roadway it is. Okay, the roadway, even though it's a long row, but they're made up of different materials. You have the base, you have the sub base, then you have whatever you want to put, whether it be a flexible pavement or a rigid pavement. Flexible, coated, rigid, concrete. Let me leave here as that. Samson told LeBron. I'm on it this afternoon, folks. I'm not playing around. By the way, serious, on a very serious note. So these people gave me the drawing and their cross section. They decided, once again, to lift the road, which I enjoy. I love that part. They lift the profile of the road. And I promised myself, I'm going to tell my wife to allow me to use the part of the family budget for me to put a bow up here and be able to show you when I'm talking about it, be able to draw it. I can't just talk without me drawing for you to see. But anyway, just bear with me. Just stick with me for some time. So the young people and the people, I found out later that they are Ghanaians, young Ghanaians. My understanding, they are not engineers. My understanding, they are drafter. They do drafting. Okay, so but they're given the contract. My understanding, I'm not there. I'm not in Liberia. Don't come question me. Who gave it to them? Who didn't give it? I don't know. Okay, but these guys took the role, the structure section. They said they're going to lift the road up. That's fine. But when you lifting the road, in other words, when they say lift, it doesn't mean you pick the road from one side and another and lift it up. No, you're building. So this is the original, this is the road here. I want to lift the road. So I put some more dirt, fill it up to certain elevation, desired elevation of the profile that I've come up with. Okay, so they decided, so now you understand when I say lift the road. They decided to lift the road. But when they lifted the road, okay, this is the original ground, as I say. Car going, car coming, car not going this way. They're coming towards you, they're coming away from you. Okay, so the road is up here now. What do? Did they have anything? No material here to fill from the existing ground to the proposed? Nothing. I have another supervisor who is a big wig. I mean, big. big shot here around here. What up? The place I'm working. He's almost like the president. But before he became president, he and I we friend, good friend, real good friend, real good friend. I mean, young guy. So I used to joke him a lot. He's a rough. He's you know who's supporter. I'm a liberal progressive. He's a conservative. So we don't get along real well, but we're good friends. By the way, this guy, one time I went to his office after he got a promotion and things, I wanted to say congratulations. He said, yeah, what are you congratulating me for? I said, because you got your new position. You're president of the whole big company. Over 20 some odd thousand people, and it's so what? So I said, well, I just want to say congratulations. He said, yeah, but I got something to tell you. I said, what? He said, you something? He said, yeah. He said, you're an engineer, right? I said, yeah, but you don't know that one. He said, yeah, I'm coming to it. He said, something. Yeah, you are. Everybody else in this organization, they're here. You think because you're from Liberia, you think you're way up here. How do we fill the gap? I said, this is what I told him. I said, we from Liberia, we're very smart. You don't need to fill the gap. The gap we're leaving you behind. No, that's a very. I'm just making a joke. But if you're lifting this road, you got to fill up. Either you cut it if you're lowering, or you fill when you're building up. But these people from Ghana, these young people from Ghana, my understanding, they didn't do that. And this road is going to be built in Liberia. Okay? If these people don't pay attention to those kinds of details, you're going to have problems. Worst of all, they're going to give 2 inches of quota. I call it a quota now. And I say alpha. Quota. Okay? So if they put in 2 inches of quota, so even if you roll it, let's just give it to them. The rolling. So the finished product, 2 inch. How much 2 inch can take? First of all, the quota. Quota is flexible. If the sun is real hot, if you look at the quota, you can see it spraying apart. Because those things that the quota itself is an oil base. Almost like rubber. In fact, some of the quota they use around here, they use rubber. Okay? So if you're giving me 2 inch, it's not enough. Most of the road that you drive on here in the United States, 4 inch or more. Why are you giving these people 2 inch? First of all, are you going to put restriction on the road to say this road cannot take certain amount of weight? What is the actual weight? What kind of truck is that? Is that 4-wheel drive? I mean 4-wheel truck going through, or one of those 16-wheeler or 18-wheeler? What is the weight limit that you're going to put on this? Nothing. If you're doing a design, before you present, you give, first thing is this, you tell her who's going to utilize the facility by giving up traffic index. Nothing. You say, okay, we're going to build this road. The road we're going to build, they're going to have this community from the traffic count. They have these many cars going back and forward. So we estimate, based on what we see now, in 10 years, they're going to have X amount of cars going in and out. So based on that traffic load of the road, you make up your structure section. So you make up your structure section to be strong enough to be able to withstand the amount of traffic. None of it. None. I didn't see any. They just drew the line and make a. When you're doing your roadway, first thing they have what they call layout. Where on your layout sheet, everything in that area, what you're doing, and whatever's the surrounding, everything is on there. Nowadays, you don't even have to do much. You go on Google Map right now, Google Earth. You can go to Monrovia and go all the way, zoom in to maybe 16, 17,000 feet. And you will be able to see the street in Monrovia, clearly. What can you even use that? Nothing. So my point to this young man was, you're going to have to do better than that. They have to do better than that. I'm gonna get my hand on it and get a result of my comments and things that I sent. My thing is, I want to have a meeting with these people. I'm not condemning them. I want to have a meeting with them. If they already got the contract, I'm not gonna say take it from you. In fact, you don't have a legal standing to take contract from anybody. You already gave the contract to the people. How are you gonna take it from there? Unless the people fail to do certain part of the agreement, and that has not happened yet. Perhaps you knew the people design standard and you accepted their proposal. So I'm not even going to touch that. Okay. Another thing that I'm going to do is to meet with them and point out these things. What do we need to do to improve the situation for all of us? That's how I'm going to approach it. Okay. Let's go now to the boring task of reading the pro-poor agenda. And if you're here with me this evening, stay with me on the reading of the pro-poor agenda. And if you have to go anywhere, that's fine with me as well, because I'm not going to go into a lot of politics. Okay? The only politics thing that I'm going to be doing here tonight, after I finish reading the 2 paragraph here, or the 2 topic, I will go into corruption. And that will be coming out of the Liberia 2017 Human Rights Report from State Department, United States State Department, how they describe corruption, what corruption does to a country, and I'll read that. So, but anyway, if you have to be anywhere, that's okay with me. That's okay with me. We say thank you. Let me go on. Okay, tonight reading, it's a very this particular part I thought was going to be interesting, and they seem to be very interesting. They say, I'm reading, if you have this now, I'm sure they said they have changed it, but the guy said, well, they changed it's not that much, so it's not going to they're not going to redo the whole book anyway. So let's go ahead and read this. Section 1.1.25, and it's called Transition in National Leadership. Okay, they say election of George Manneh Weah as the 24th President of the Republic of Liberia and Joy Howard Taylor as first female Vice President present a unique opportunity to begin transformation. I thought that was very interesting. Transformation from where? So keep that in mind. Okay. So it was the first peaceful and democratic transition of power in 73 years. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Moreover, it was the first generational change in national leadership by popular votes since the introduction of universal suffrage in 1951 and the launch of the National Unification and Integration Policy in 1960. I believe that will be Tubman. Okay. So this opened a window of opportunity to build a new national identity. Here we go again. That's that same word they've been using from the time I started reading it. National identity. National identity. Now, let me sidestep this here a little bit. National identity. When they're talking about that, as I stated to you here the first time when I started reading, in the 1800s, when they started the whole Liberia business, they decided to have a dual system. They have a system that was governing the settler on the coastal land, and they have a system that they decided the hinterland people should operate on. However, they decided, the coastal land decided that they're going to manipulate, that they're going to supervise the hinterland system that they themselves are giving the poor folks to say, this is your system, but we'll supervise and we'll manipulate and we'll do whatever we want to do. And so they start sending, according to this now, they started sending district commissioners to supervise the system. They themselves becomes the instrument of the, at that time they didn't have no central government, whatever, but they were the instrument of the system that was being operated by the settlers. So there with those dual system, for me, that created some sort of a interesting dynamic, which then resulting to what we are today, giving us all of this conflict. Because we Liberians refuse to have one system. So here now, this generation and the generation before continue to find means to have one national identity, so that the two systems that was created in the 1800s will merge together and become one, thereby creating one identity, national identity. But how do you do that? In the process of the dual system, the culture of the hinterland will allow to flourish, will allow to stay. The culture of the settlers, in fact, in here they refer to them as immigrants, which I don't like that word, because I don't like that word. Okay, but they also have their own culture that they brought with them from foreign country. If they're not coming from foreign country, why would they call them immigrant? So please don't question me, okay? But I don't like that. I really don't like that. But now you have these two cultures, and you're asking the two cultures that are viable in those societies, and you're asking them to come and be together and be one. Which one of those cultures now that will agree or accept to be dominated by the other culture? That is our dilemma. Okay, so you can write all the book. They got to come down to say these things must be settled, and recognize those that need to be settled. Samson told LIBERIA Pabrino. Okay, let me go on. Okay, I said here this opening blah blah blah. Okay, this open a window of opportunity to build a new national identity based on the principle of inclusion. Okay, of inclusion, equality in the distribution of revenue generated from the Liberian national resources, and a right-based approach to national development. Did you get that? They're saying that this identity that they're talking about, once that is, it should be based on the principle of inclusion. You see what I just told you. Why would they say inclusion if they already have inclusion? Because they have been setting group aside for years. Now they're fighting to say, in order for us to move as a group together, we must be inclusive. All of us. It doesn't matter where you come, as long as you're Liberian and you accept the culture of Liberia and you accept to be a Liberian, then you must be included into this train, the pro-poor agenda for prosperity and development train, the 5-year national plan train. You must be allowed to ride on that train. On this train, we do not allow corruption. On this train, we do not allow divisive ideas. On this train, we are here to rebuild our country, and you must come ready to roll up your sleeves and work hard. No stealing. Don't steal. If you steal, we're not going nowhere. And we already have, on this train, on this ship, we already have a captain. Don't come on this ship when we already have a captain and then you want to have another captain. If you want another captain, wait until the nation say we want a new captain. Then you can put your name in there, give your resume, and campaign to be the new captain. But as things are concerned right now, we have Dr. Weir. He's our captain. Let's recognize that and let's respect that. We don't have to agree with him. We can say the way the ship is being run, I don't agree with it. What have you? That's fine. That's fine. But you cannot come here and try to sabotage the captain. Let's read on. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, we're trying to do our best this afternoon. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on. Okay, it also opened the opportunity to unite Liberians, diverse nation, and to craft a national. Here we go again. To craft a national identity that reflects Liberia's geographic position and relations with the rest of the African nations. Liberia, they are looking for national identity. The national identity that going to reflect all of our value as Liberian. And then we present ourselves to the rest of the African nation to say this is who we are. You can come from Nima County, we have a national identity. You come from Lofa County, we have a national identity. Whatever county you come from, we have a national identity. However, how then do they deal with the culture itself? Because each one of these 16 tribes, or even let's forget 16, 15 counties, every one of those counties have their own culture. How do you deal with that? I'm not too sure. It hasn't been addressed yet, but I hope they will address that. This is Samson Toll, LeBron Public Radio. Stay with me. Let me now go on. I got one more, and then I will go reading the corruption issue. Okay. So this part that I've just read to you, they're telling you, they're asking you to find a national identity. Okay. However, they have issues. They have issues because in order to have that national identity, you will have people, you must have people who are credible. You must have people who the Liberians will trust. You must have people who will be willing to bring Liberians together. If you don't, the national identity issue isn't going nowhere. Because if we don't trust our leaders, how do you expect us to follow that leader? I don't see it. I just don't see it. In order for here's the thing here. Let's look at it. On a very serious note. As a leader, those of you that consider yourself leader in the different Liberian community in the diaspora, what is the most important thing that you want to convey to your people so that they will know that you're a good leader? My opinion is trustworthy. For the people to know that you are trustworthy. For the people to know that your people, they can trust you with whatever information, money, whatever, but that they can trust you. You are a man of your word. That you're not just seeking gravy train. If you present yourself, it doesn't matter whether in your own house. If your kids don't trust you, you get nothing. However, those of us that are the citizens of these various counties, country, whatever, once the leader is elected, we must respect that leader. If the leader, for example, present to us during the campaign or whatever that he is trustworthy, and we believe that he is trustworthy, and he becomes elected and decide to show himself that he doesn't mean what he said, you have the right to be angry because the men have used your position. And voting to vote is not anything small. You're putting your trust, your whole trust in that person. And for the person to play down your trust is very painful and it's very hurtful. It's called betrayal. How then do you deal with something like that? Without trying to be violent. This is where maturity comes about. This is where the intellectual process comes about. This is where you, as a mature person, comes about. The person that betrayed you now. Do you disrespect him? Do you go and start cussing him or her? What do you do? How do you deal with your emotions? I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't tell you how to deal with that. But what I can say to you is this. And because of that, the 1986 Constitution set aside certain rules. In situations like that, there are certain constitutional provisions that will allow you, for this person, to know that you are not somebody to play with. It's called election. It's called election. You don't go cussing. You don't take yourself out of the game either. Because guess what? If you remove yourself because you're upset, and I don't blame you, because you have been abused, psychologically abused. When you trust somebody and the person let you down, you've been abused, my opinion. So you have the right to be upset. But do you withdraw yourself from a national discussion? No, you don't. You get involved. Okay? So the provision that is set aside by the Constitution must be utilized effectively. And the next time around, not to insult, not to get in the street. Here's the thing. Getting in the street, that's fine. It's your constitutional right to demonstrate, to do whatever it is to call attention when you're demonstrating. You're not demonstrating to destroy things. You're demonstrating to call attention to certain activities that you have interest in. However, you, the one that's going to be demonstrating, must be responsible in your pronouncement. You must show maturity. Those that are coming with you to get in the street to demonstrate for the specific position, are they as sophisticated as you are with respect to the demonstration process? Are they going to follow you and not be destructive during the demonstration? So what happened if destruction occurred during the demonstration? Who do we hold responsible? Is this the government that have lied to us, that caused us to get in the street? Are they responsible? Or are they, it is those who organized the demonstration are responsible for the destruction? Those are the kinds of questions that you must be able to answer. And that can only come about with clear mind, planning what you want to do. Because in this Republic of Liberia, we got rules, we got law, and they must be followed. It doesn't matter who you think is not following the rule, but you, as a good citizen, must follow the rule. Even if John Brown is not following the rule, yet he's the leader, that's not your place to say he's not following the rule, therefore I'm not going to follow the rule. If you do that, I come in, I say John Brown didn't follow the rule, and he's our leader, and yeah, Paul, he didn't follow the rule, and he's supposed to be so myself enough. Who then followed the rules? What do we have? We have what happened it started in 1989. Because there was no rules. Nobody wanted to respect the rule. So my point here this evening, as a good citizen, I'm not saying that you shouldn't question your government. It's your job. It's your duty. It's your constitutional right to question the government. But you must do so with responsibility. You must be responsible in how it is done. once again, the process is very important. The process is very important because those that you're accusing of lying to you, they perhaps, and I say perhaps because I don't know, but they perhaps have their own reason of doing what they're doing. You see where I'm going with this? So it's a two-way street. Mr. So, we trusted you. What went wrong? That's how the citizen approach their government. Have these symposiums, have these conferences where the people who are supposed to be discussing, you have issue with the government. The certain thing you trusted the government, certain thing is not happening. First of all, you go through your elected officer and find out why. And then, of course, there'll be people online right now said you can't do that kind of thing. Like, bro, the people are all corrupt. Well, hello, they didn't get elected by people from Mars, or they were elected by people from Liberia. So if those people are corrupt, they must face the consequence that is set aside by the Constitution. Election. So if you start preparing yourself now, start documenting things that you know these people are supposed, they said they were going to do and they're not doing it. Start documenting. And anybody who wants to run, come time to run, they will make their case. It is you, the Liberian. It is you, the student of the Republic of Liberia. It is you, the good people of Liberia. You're going to have to educate us, the plebeians among you. Those of us that are not sophisticated as you are, you will educate us plainly, nothing heady, and you educate us. For example, you take these people blueprint and you educate the people. Because what you don't go out and start cussing. And you do that, you get nothing. Nothing. You go and educate the community. Say this, even if you're opposition, say this is the blueprint for CDC. Now let's see what CDC they say they're gonna do for us. And you educate the people. Oh, CDC said they're gonna do this thing. Oh, according to their blueprint, oh, they said they're gonna do this. Oh, yeah, the people here. Then they start watching. Once the CDC government fail to carry out the policy that they themselves have given out, that build up your case. However, if we're going to do that, there must be an understanding among us as Liberians to say, okay, what exactly do we want? What are some of the things that we have to get rid of now so we don't repeat these things anymore? You must engage each other truthfully, respectfully. You must allow people to express their view. But if you're going to be expressing your view, don't preach violence. Because here's the other thing you have to understand. Even if you don't agree with the government, the government, those that are there to carry out the administration, they were elected. And they are responsible to protect lives and make sure properties of the citizens of the Republic of Liberia are safe. And they will continue to use that process because it's their constitutional mandate. So if you're preaching violence, those that perhaps have the inclination of saying, okay, we're going to do it, then you use that process to build up a case of blocking you from receiving what is duly yours. And then your frustration level goes up. So I'm just telling you this afternoon, folks, that in order for us to engage each other, we don't agree with the government, but we must be respectful. Being respectful does not mean you're afraid. It's two different things. I mean, come on now. You're a Liberian. You hear Liberian say, I'm not afraid of you. I respect you, but I'm scared of you. Because you hear him saying my mouth. You never heard that before? And that's exactly who we are. But we must double our effort to respect each other. We must double our effort how we approach each other. Because if you do that, you have given room for discussion. Because if I respect you, once again, if I respect you, I will respect your view. I might not agree with your view. But if I respect your view, I allow you to express your view. Because I respect you and I'm respecting your view. Look at it. When you're respecting somebody, when somebody talking, when you respect them, man, let's sit down, man. Ain't that what you say? But when you respect somebody, when a person talking, you go like this. It doesn't mean you agree with that person. It doesn't mean the person is dominating the conversation. Far from it. However, you're taking in everything that is being stated. So that when your time comes to reply, you will formulate some sort of an answer that will put that person boom on their back. Figuratively speaking now. So this is something that we have to practice. We must practice this. The two systems that these people set up in the 1800s, the two systems is giving us problem. And now they're asking for national identity. And if we're going to agree to be identified with that national identity, there are certain rules that comes along with being part of that national identity. You can't accept national identity and want to separate yourself from that national identity as an individual. Then you're no longer part of that national identity. And if you're no longer part of that national, you don't expect to enjoy what the rest of the people are suffering for. You see what I'm saying? Does it make sense? Sacrifice and get something in return. And this is what the corrupt behavior gets for us. Because the corruption robs us of whatever it is that's supposed to come to us. And it's very painful as well. Folks, this is Samson told Labron Public. Let me read let me just read this other part here and then I'll go on. Because these things that I'm stating here tonight, I'm sure most of you are quite aware of these things. So, the leader is the one to set the tone for his honor man to follow. I agree with you, brother. Mr. Kain, I agree with you. However, if the leader who's supposed to set the tone is not setting the tone, why not those who are fathering? If you know that there's certain tunes supposed to be set, why can't you set it yourself? And perhaps if the leader is incapable of leading, you can help him to lead you. But when you put this kind of idea, you're supposed to set it to, and you're not setting it to with your father, any kind of drum you beat. Why if the drum stop? I'm a drummer. I used to play drum in the countryside. I played drum for Google girls. When the girl then dancing, man, you take me all the way. They kind of come in, man, you take me all the way to Total again tonight, man. But when you play drum, let me just set it up for you a little bit. When the Google girls singing, when they're dancing, they line up. Okay, and you play, and each of them has their own style of dancing. There are some girls that will cross their legs before they throw one behind each other. You got to follow it as a drummer. However, there are some girls that when they come up, they want me to set their tune or the way they're gonna dance. They listen to my beat, and then they dance. And that also encouraged me to demonstrate that I can play. So it goes both ways. And then this is why, I remember you take me all the way back to 2011. I'm going to visit there. When you play, then the young girl, they can't hold your hand, and then they stretch it. Then they say, go ahead and play. The beautiful girls, young girl, beautiful. They can't touch your hand. The kind of spirit that coming out of you playing that drum. You took me all the way. But anyway, let's forget. But the point that I'm trying to make here is this: Natye N. Kawin, I think. Okay, the point that I'm trying to make here, sir, is this: if the leader is not setting the tone, the rest of you that are following, you set the tone. You know what you want before you even join. There's rules that were set that you all agree on. How to perform, how to govern. And if the person who at the higher position is not following that, call him back to the table. Say, this is not what we agreed on. What's going on? And if the person don't want to pay you mind, or certain people already say, oh, we enjoy ourselves, you, the rest of you, settle yourself, follow the rule, and you will be okay. Okay, let me go on. Okay, this is a very interesting topic. Okay, I'm seriously. Okay, I'm not saying what I'm saying here. I'm saying they are true, or you should follow, or you should agree with me. I want you to debate me. I want you to disagree with me, but make your point. Make your point. And that's why I don't quite like to come on my show and just pay attention to the numbers. No, those who want to listen will listen, and then when I open it up, we have the discussion. Those who don't want to listen, I'm not going to tell you to stay here. But what I'm not going to do is to come out here and be as ridiculous as possible by insulting people and say, because I want number. That's not what I'm going to do. I can be here. If I don't have number, I just call my kids. I say, okay, you're turning your stuff on. Say, okay, watch me. They can be 3, 4. It really doesn't matter. Let me read this here, and then I'll open the line tonight soon, so we can have a clear discussion here, because I think the discussion is interesting. Okay, constitutional framework. And this thing is coming from our pro-poor agenda for prosperity and development, a 5-year national development plan towards accelerated, inclusive, and sustainable development, 2018, July 2018 to June 2023. The people were telling me that they have changed some stuff, so I'm not too sure if everything has been changed. If yeah, I'm waiting. I hope to get a copy of that soon. Okay, but let me read what I have right now. Liberia is unilateral state with 3 separate and co-equal branches of government, legislature, executive, judiciary. The traditional role of the branches are defined as lawmaking, administration of the legal instrument, and interpretation in the event of dispute or infraction of the law, respectively. In the framework of the development plan, and given the recent emergence from conflict and the collapse of the state institution, the 3 branches must coordinate effort to mend fierce relationships between state and citizen to achieve the multidimensional aspect of development. Everything that I just said here, they just lay it out. We were in conflict, and during that time, most of the institution was dead. Damn, Liberia, you're strong. What? You come from civil war in Africa. What people die, brothers and sisters die. And less than 20 years, 30 years later, you have Supreme Court, you have executive branch, you have the legislature. Yeah, Liberia, I salute you. I salute you. I want to appreciate all of you, because you guys really, really, you're way up there. Okay, think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Civil war. What people were dying. Even if you are not in Liberia, you were still suffering, because every day you were thinking about relatives. Think about it. No, no, Jesus Christ. This is just too much for me to handle right now. You got relatives who are buried all over West Africa because they were refugees in other part of Africa, and they were not able to be brought back home to be buried. And you got relatives that are walking around still, going in the street of Monrovia and meeting some of their people that tormented them, and they're still walking around laughing, smiling in Monrovia. You got people that will tell you some story about the war that you will think say the person making stories up. They're walking in the street of Monrovia. I salute you. And sometimes when we're ready to have these kinds of discussion, and emotion become raw. So what I say when I'm involved, I say, let's calm down. I'm not condemning anybody to be that raw with your emotion. Because what we went through is ridiculous. It's bad. So whenever these kinds of discussion comes, there are some people that just can't handle it. So I appreciate that. However, there's a reason why you were spared. There's a reason why God kept you alive. And that is to rebuild the nation. And we cannot rebuild a nation by fighting each other. We cannot rebuild our nation by repeating everything else we said we were against. Corruption, nepotism. Who know you? You know who I am? Those kinds of behavior. Those are the things that people said they were going against. And they are being repeated. Then what is the point? What was the reason? That some of us cannot see our brothers and sisters today. What was the reason? What was the reason? Was it strictly just for greed? Or there was a principle? Principle. Some of us stood for principle. We got issues. And those issues in Monrovia, those issues in Liberia can only be resolved by us coming together, trying to find solution to those reasons. Here's the thing here though. The young people that were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, or even 12 years, those that were able to fight, some of them now what? 30 something, 40-year-old, they're in Liberia. What do you do with them? You think their mind is straight? You go out with a group of friends and only you alone survive to come back. You know what that does to your mind? That affects you for life. Here in the United States, the great United States, when they go to war, when they come back, what they call it, PTSD or something like that. And we're here. If somebody give you opportunity, the Liberian people give you opportunity to run it, to run the government, and then we can't even come together as a group. We're using politics. We're using politics to destroy one another. What's the point? I believe it's Councillor Bo or something during the election when the people were going to the Supreme Court. I think she stated something like, hey, your men, then you can't handle it, you give it to us, the women who can handle it. I will look for that video one day and I'll play it. What's the point? What's the reason? Samson told LIBERIA. I'm a little bit disturbed, a little bit just to think about this when I was reading this thing. Okay. This is something that we have to continue to search our hearts. Here's the thing here now. The young people, the young generation that God spared, and they were able to migrate to foreign land to educate themselves. They're quite prepared. The opportunity have not been given, but they are quite prepared. So you're telling them, yes, we got issue all over, all over, all over. You're telling the young people who have educated themselves, they're ready, they know they can lead. You're telling them, wait for your time. It's okay. But then you grab all those young people. They know their bodies, the people can't produce. Then you grab them, you say, can't work because they're friend. And they can't produce. And here's the funny thing. Those of you that are in leadership in Liberia, perhaps you don't recognize this. But the people that you're leaving behind, Samson too, I'm getting ready to rock you again. The people that you're leaving behind, they're not suffering, oh. They're working, making money. The only suffering that they're suffering is the heart and the mindset they got for their country. The fact that what they have learned, they do not have the opportunity to implement or to practice what they have learned in their country. That's why hurting them. But go around the great United States. They're working. See the houses each children get. You will be surprised. See their living place. You think they're suffering? Some of them making $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month or more. You think they're suffering? They're not suffering. The only suffering they got is the fact that they're not able, they don't have the opportunity to practice what they have learned about their country, on their country, to help their brothers and sisters up. So what do? The people back home, they're not thinking. Look around and look at the community organizations. Who are the leaders of the community organization? They're not something to who the man who even finished high school. He's not their leader. We got 2 master's degree holders. They're leading this community. And here's the other thing that you're missing out, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. Here's the other thing that you're missing out. These people that are being left behind, instead of say, okay, what's your CV? Oh, you did this, okay. Yeah, I got the person CV. The person, oh yeah, he worked with us, he did this. You find out that person can do it, you employ, you're not doing it. Money pass and then the person gets job. If that's true. But the people that you're leaving behind, they're gonna stay. They're gonna be frustrated. Not the frustration is not coming out of the fact that they don't have money. Go see the kind of car these people ride. Like I said, so then it's not like they're broke. Go see their 401k. You can swim in it and still survive. They're not broke, but their frustration is some of them could have taken that craft, whatever they have learned, to apply it to Liberia to help move the country forward. They're not doing it. And here is the biggest mistake that our brothers and sisters back home was making. The United States, they love it. Leave them for us. We will use them. We'll pay them good money. But they will get our country going. I am a member of the Liberian Engineering Society. For a very long time, I didn't want to join. You know why? Because they had double E's. If you look at the list, and when I say double E, that's the electrical engineers. Electrical engineer, the amount of Liberian electrical engineer in this country, you will not believe it when I gave you the numbers. They're all working with the automatic car maker, whatever, making good money. Those people could have been in Liberia helping with LEC, helping electrify Monrovia. Even if they're not electrified, but making some electrical component that can make life easier for you in Monrovia. But no, you have the dual citizenship law. They stay here, they make money. So here's the thing now. 20, 30 years from now, when they're a little bit older and they have passed their prime, then you say you want to come to Liberia to help you. How much more can you get out of that person? Why you think when they say football time, they don't go get people that Samson told them. They get people in 15, I mean, 6, 17, 18 years old, because they still can move and make some move that Sansinto, when he does it, he will not be able to get off the field. I give you an example. Let me throw this out there one time, Bishop, so you will laugh about this. As I'm thinking about it, I'm laughing right now. So we have I went for Caltrain. So we have a football team. Nigerian guy from Congo, guy from Ghana, engineer. We have a team here. So one time we went in the Bay Area to play. I used to play football now. Don't get me wrong. So this Nigerian guy, okay, he's a young guy. Okay, so he got the boys to beat people. I was facing him. Oh my goodness. He looked at me, I look at him. He said, I can't, I said, come. He gave me the ball. I laughed. Up to this time, the boy, never forget it. He gave me the ball I was facing him. So when he sent the ball to me, all he wanted for me to just place the ball back to him, and he was going to score. So when the ball was rolling towards me, I was thinking in my mind, what legs that I'm supposed to use? Because if I'm not careful, the legs that I'm going to stand on, I might hurt myself. My stomach this big. So if what legs the ball rolling towards me, I'm thinking what legs I'm going to use. As a result, I decided to use both legs. True story. True story. True story. I decided to use both legs. The boy even go to the Nigerian boy. He was so upset. Okay? After beating everybody. All he had to give me the ball. I put the ball back to him. He scored. But I was thinking what to do, because I no longer have the ability to move that much. And yeah, I am thinking, say, my mind thinking, say, I still can do it. Physically, my body is not able. So I decided to use both legs. And guess what? I sat on the ball. From that point on, every time we go play this, Mr. Told, you be the ref. And this is exactly what is happening. You let these young people stay out of Liberia. They use them, milk them, get all the good thing out of them. Then when they're no longer able to produce, then you say you want them. This is Samson told LeBron Poverito. Folks, I think I'm on here tonight. But on a very serious note, I think all of you know exactly what I'm talking about. All of you know exactly what I'm talking about. As a Liberian, we know you can make all of the money in the world. As long as you're not working in our country to be able to produce for Liberia, you're not satisfied. You're not satisfied. Every day, every one of us, one way or the other, will want to go home to help. But the system that our brothers and sisters put in place, it does not allow us to go and do what we have to do. Okay? So, anyhow, let me finish reading this. I will put out the numbers so you can give me a call. I think what's my phone? Oh, it's way over there. Okay. Let me put this up. Let me read this and I'll put out the number. Okay. The national legislature is comprised of blah blah blah. Okay. The president of Liberia had the executive branch. Okay, we all know that one. I don't need to read that. But anyway, the next reading will be population and development. I'm going to take my time to read them one by one. Stop. Okay, I'm going to take my time to go through it little by little. And there are some, like I said, if you can get hold of this thing, you will truly enjoy reading it, because there are some good stuff here that you will love to read. Okay, I mean, this is just something that they as Liberian, and this is something that we will enjoy doing. So I will encourage all of you to get your hand on this. I heard they've changed a little bit. I'll try and talk to the guys to see if I can get the most recent copy. So I'll continue to do the reading. Once again, my reading of the Pro-Poor agenda is not to promote a particular government. For me, I think by me reading this thing, it's something like helping my brothers and sisters to understand so that we can hold these people. I tell you, say you guys wrote this thing as an agenda. What happened to the agenda? Are we deviating from the agenda? Those are the kind of questions we have to ask. Samson Tour. Let me go get my phone and bring you guys on. Those of you that will call, I'll be happy to take your phone call. Samson Tour, LIBERIA Public Radio. Stay with me. Okay, before I open the line, I just want to say this one more time, then we can go ahead and open the lines. For Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio, again, I want to thank all of you that have been following us here. It's been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. The last thing I want to say here is this. The government of the Republic of Liberia, those are people that were elected, there are certain things that I've been reading lately that does not give me some sort of a reason to be encouraged. However, we will continue to respect and accept our leadership until they give us a real reason why we shouldn't. So let's have that one in mind. Let me go ahead and open it up because we have to. Give me a call here, Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I have my phone with me right now. So anyway, while I'm waiting for your call, I will go ahead and talk about this corruption business in Liberia while I'm waiting for your call. 916-533-2048. Okay. Where is it? Okay. Every time I'm ready to talk about the corruption business, I can't get it. There's a lot of stuff here, a lot of stuff. Another thing that I want you to pay attention to here also is there are a lot of things, like I said, there are a lot of things that are happening in Liberia that we no. Okay. All right. I usually don't do this, but let me try and do it this time around. Okay. No, I'm not going to call names, but no, I'm not saying that you shouldn't talk about the ills of what is happening in Liberia. And if maybe perhaps it's just coming in. I said it is your constitutional right to question. It is your duty to talk about things that are happening in Liberia, but they must be done with responsibilities. They must be done with at least some semblance of facts. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. But I'm not saying you shouldn't talk about it. You have the right to talk about it. If you don't talk about it, then what's the point of being a citizen of Liberia? Okay, so but you must do it with responsibility. That's all that I'm saying. And the first responsibility that I think that we all have to accept and that we all have to carry for are those that are charged to lead us must be respected. Listen again, oh, listen what I'm saying. They must be respected. I didn't say you must agree with them or you should be afraid of them because as I stated before, we Liberians have a saying. I respect you, but I'm afraid of you because my hair ain't feeding you more, you ain't feeding my more. That's the first thing we say. Okay, we know that one. So those are the kinds of things that we as Liberians must practice. They're difficult, especially some of us that grew up in the street of Monrovia, where in order to survive, you got to be tough. And I know what I'm talking about. I'm not boasting, but I know what I'm talking about. I grew up in Monrovia. But of course, those days is quite different than what it is now. Those days when you say you're fighting, you're fighting. Now you don't fight. They're ready to shoot you. But those days, fighting, fighting. Yeah, so you got to be strong. Okay. But that's the point that I'm making here. So give me a call 916-533-2048. Okay. And that's all that I have for you tonight. I'm just waiting for your call now. And let me go on. I will now call names. I'll just read. I normally don't do that. Watching from Dallas, Texas. Thank you very much. Yes, work for the people of Liberia, President. We are. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Toll. Good evening. Thank you. This time around, we were sweat. I'm begging you people for us to talk to different people, helpful to each other. You were sweating. Okay. How can a country like Liberia achieve these kinds of development with all the corruption and stealing on such a large scale? Bring back all the stolen money by establishing by establishing criminal code from the head to toe are rotting with corruption. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about because while your statement might be correct. I can't say that on air because I have no evidence. And this, if you, okay, take for example, if you get called on a forum with government officials to have this kind of conversation and you bring up topic like this, if you make the kinds of statement, you think they will listen to you after that? I don't think so. Because now you put them on the defense. You're taking them out of the discussion that's supposed to happen. You're asking them to defend themselves now of things they may or may not have done. Okay? So then you already knock everything else out. That's my point. Okay? Okay, wow, watching. Thank you. Mr. Toro, thank you for joining. This president is leaving competent Liberian out of development opportunity and trusting foreigners. Mr. To here and Mr. Duffy Sr. can run the construction program like no, no, not yet. I already yet. My brother, no, seriously, I'm not talking about myself. Because let me use myself again. Well, guys, young Liberian engineers. Okay, right now, if I go to Liberia, say I want to be working as a do I able to climb any hill right now? No, I'll be sitting in a car. And what's the point? I'm not talking about myself. You want to get people who are still able to produce, to be able to do these kinds of work. What I can do, for example, is if I'm given the opportunity to, I like to be there to teach, to show how it is done, and then let the young people go and do it. And then it come back in the afternoon, we discuss what you have done out in the field, or we discuss the design procedures. That's the kind of thing that I would like to do, not to go and work. No, that's not what I want. Okay, well, the leader is the one to set. Okay, we talked about that already. Just tell us, Blocko. Okay, I know. Hello, Mr. Toad. Well, hello to what? Okay. What's up with this come together message? That's the kumbaya message, my brother. But you don't want to come together. See, you don't want to come together, but you want to go to Liberia. What's up with the come together business? Sorry. Uh, and you say no, no. I just want you to talk about it, but do it with respect, okay? But our president is young. Why they are not working? Well, again, this is what if you. I'm sorry when we had a radio show a long time ago. I can still go and retrieve some of the things, but that's some of the things that I used to say those days. That once the mother of the land, I continue to refer to her as mother of the land, once she leaves office, that if it's men, it's going to be very difficult to govern because, and especially if you're young, most of the population of Liberia, they're not even 50. So if they're calling 55, 56, pape, okay, that's just to tell you what position we're in. So if you're governing people who are 35 to 40, you think you're going to govern them with easy way out? No. They're going to challenge you all the way. But you must take the challenge as way to improve the system. The challenges should not be, or the criticism should not be viewed as personal issues. Because if we do that, we defeat ourselves as well. While we're asking the citizenry to be respectful to the leadership itself must also accept criticism and consider criticism as the way of the people to express themselves. But the people who are going to be criticizing, you must do so with responsibility. So this thing is two-way. It's not just one side. So that's the point that I'm preaching, my brother. I'm not saying y'all like brother need a J running type of president. No, 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 we don't. Anyone that wants to know how JJ did, check. No, 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 that's not. We passed that. We passed that. You bring JJ running issue in Liberia, you're not gonna succeed because Liberian will not allow you to come and dominate anyone. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I don't believe so. I don't believe that you're gonna be successful in governing the style of JJ running. No, no. With Liberians, we are unique and we have our own way of doing things. There'll be some of us that will continue to preach that only peace and understanding among us will be able to take us to the next level. If we don't do that, we're going nowhere. So again, that's the number, folks. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. Give me a call and give me your point here. I'm hoping by next week to be able to have a boy. I've got my wife, I think she's home now. I will talk to her to let me use some money to buy a bowl here, and I'll be talking strictly after next week or so. I'll be talking strictly engineering issues. And I hope my brothers and sisters that are in the engineering field, and even if you're not in the engineering field, you'll be able to tune in as well. The reason why it's not like I'm teaching. No, I don't know nothing. That's somebody who don't know anything, how you can teach. But whatever little that I know, I want to put it out there so we don't face with any kinds of stuff that I saw on Friday. And the only good thing why I'm still here talking to you, and I'm not talking to you from Monrovia, we got an total road. If what I saw on Friday, if that was the be for the road to go to Total, I would tell my wife I'm going there. By this time in Monrovia, I'm not going to let the people put that kind of thing down there on Total Road. Are you kidding me? But anyway, folks, it's been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. If you're not calling, that's fine. The opportunity is there. I hope you enjoy yourself, and I hope you will take that into. Oh, traditional leader reportedly held hostage, beat, forced immediately act upon and otherwise abuse 13 women in secure period. That's from. I will read that one next time. I will read that next time. Okay, because that's from the report from the stuff. By the way, let's leave it as it is. Thank you, Mr. Dunn. We appreciate it. We will continue to preach peace because I think. Let me now, Mr. Dunn, gonna let me make a excuse me. Let me make another comment about peace here. Okay, the peace aspect of this and this guy, what's all the come together business? No, there's kumbaya that I'm preaching here tonight. Two things happening. When you're old, you want people to come together. When you're young, what am I come together for? What? Like, man, what you got? I want? You got nothing. I want. I'm come to, man. Let me find. See how young people talk. But when you're old, because you have done all that, and you have seen it, and you know those types of things don't carry you anywhere. You wonder to yourself, why these people are not listening to me? We can only move this thing when we get together. I have a son, plenty of them, okay? But I have a son here who is here with me, smart young man. You don't make trouble. I just don't want to call his name because then you'll go on Facebook and see him. Very intelligent young man. But when he came here, I told him, you're smart. Very smart. He has written book and all, so don't get me wrong, he's doing real well. But I gotta say this. So I said, you're smart. I'm not asking you to follow me and go to engineering. No. But this is what I would suggest. You don't drink, you don't do drugs, you're not in trouble, you're not even in a nightclub business. Go into criminal justice. I don't want you to be a police officer, but go into criminal justice so that at least you will be a parole officer and what have you. They make good money, but it's a good career as well. No, Dad. I can speak French. I can write French. I'm gonna study journalism. So I told him. I know when you hear that you got fed with me. I tell you, you speaking, you're like somebody from Total. You think people will call you say can't be a journalist and can't report for all? When they kind of BB cry English you speaking? You speaking just like me. Eh? No, that's not what I'm talking about there. They were asked me to be interpreter because he grew up in Ivory Coast. Let's put it that way. And he write and speak French fluently, so he knows that well. He said I can interpret. So I said, dude, you're wasting my time. But anyway, whatever you want to do, I'm your father. I will support you. 2 years later, he decided he's gonna go back to criminal justice. He's done now, has a degree and everything working on. But this is what most young people sometimes, you talk, you say, oh, don't. But thank God, he was able to put himself together. And he's doing well. I just thought that I'd throw that in there this afternoon. This is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. It's been a wonderful, wonderful day. Let's continue to be safe and let's continue to pray for each other. I'll say thank you very much and I'll say good night to all. Okay. All right. I'll say good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful day. Let's do it again. Okay? Good night, folks.
Sabagia na yo na. Kaido wea. Yo be. Sabagia na yo na. Mote masele awe yo be. Sabagia na yo na. Imania pongo wedio. Yo be. Sabagia na yo na. Imanja ya monyenyo. Yo be. Sabagia na yo na. Ledeo. Boshisi pongo wedio. Tout le bleu à Oyode, Anasiole, Eyode, Anasiole, Eyode, Anasiole, Eyode.